being vast country with 120 crores of population, I think we have huge opportunities here to use big data, innovation and technology. We don't have any confusion in telling you that these three things, technology, innovation and big data, definitely makes business organizations competitive. How it manifests, say how it helps small organizations, how it helps to solve our day-to-day problems. This we have to explore in next 2 days. For this conference, when we thought of, guests, we were very happy when 3 of them agreed for our request. One is Dr. Natarajan. You know about him. He was former director of IIT and AICTE chairman. Sir, I welcome you to this conference. I request Mrs. Purnima Reddy to welcome him through a bouquet and a memento. Another guest today, as I earlier told, a rare breed of bureaucrat. I am more an academician because I have heard many of his speeches, and he is so well informed, being in that space of government. And Sir Vidya Shankar, I request Purnima Reddy to welcome him with a floral bouquet and a memento. The keynote speaker for today's conference, now I request Professor Srinivas Rao to welcome the guest Srinath with a bouquet and a memento. I welcome every delegate and all of you to this conference. Believe me, we started at 10:15. Sorry for that, 15 minutes late. Professor Natarajan was not comfortable sitting in the boardroom. So 10 means we have to start at 10. And sorry for that 15 minutes delay. Now over to my MC, Bhargavi.
Thank you, sir, for the detailed essence of the conference theme and the conference. Like the light of the bright candle and the warmth of fire glow, we brighten every corner when we let God's love show on us. It's our customary to take the blessing of Almighty for a great start. Therefore, I call Ms. Sai Ramya from first semester MBA to bring the moment of praise with the invocation song. And I also request all the dignitaries to light the lamp. Now I request all our dignitaries to release the conference proceeding with the ISBN number. I think it's a great way to start with the technology, with how they started with the proceedings. Now I would like to call upon Professor Pratibha Raj to introduce the guest of honor.
Thank you, Bhargavi. Good morning, one and all. I take this immense pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker of today, Mr. Srinath G, who is a principal evangelist in CTO Labs, TCS. Mr. Srinath holds PGDM from IIM Ahmedabad, a dream institution for all of us. An evangelist is a person who builds a critical mass of support for a given technology and also helps in aligning themselves to markets and customers. Mr. Srinath is an evangelist with the CTO Labs of TCS. He acts as a bridge between the TCS research community and customers, which helps in applying innovation to customers and societal problems. At the same time, helps in aligning themselves to markets and customers. He has worked across several industries, including FMCG, financial services, media selling, and IT services. He has a passion in discussion, current trends and happenings in technology. We are very happy to have you here, sir. And I would request you to share some thought-provoking technology experiences with us, sir.
I remember the days when I used to be like you, sitting on the other side and then wondering how much time we can keep ourselves awake. That used to be a very favorite question. Particularly the first hour of the classes, we used to wonder what was the quickest time we could get to breakfast. Classes in those days used to start at 7:30, so invariably we used to wait for the first break and then rush to the cafeteria to grab a bite. I hope that's not the case with you people. The professor here was very kind enough to let you know that I am working as an evangelist, as an innovation evangelist. And I think you heard the one-line description of what I do. Essentially, it is to act as a bridge between the TCS research development as well as customers. On the one side, we have customers. On the other side, we have the research and development group within TCS. I work with TCS, by the way, Tata Consultancy Services, the leading IT services company in India, definitely, and across the globe, we do lead across many parameters. How many of you know about TCS? Anybody from TCS? Ex-TCS? No? Okay. Oh, you're an ex-TCS or no? You know about TCS. Okay. It is always a surprise for many people to hear that a software company, an IT services company, TCS, what are you talking about research and development? Manufacturing companies, we know, they have large R&D setups. You have heard about automotive companies, you've heard about other companies, Birla 3M, all of them very strong in the Procter & Gamble being strong in research and development. But we do have a strong research and development wing as well. We are about 3,500 people strong, purely from the research and development. There are several groups within TCS which do research and development on their own, but I belong to what is called the CTO, the Corporate Technology Office. We are mandated by the board of directors of TCS. My boss, the CTO, he reports to the board. What he's in turn interested with is the responsibility to make sure that TCS remains competitive, TCS remains innovative, and there is always innovation for TCS, by TCS, for customers. And that's the mandate on which we work on. You want it? Okay. So that's just as a filler, by the way. When I looked at the conference theme and when I looked at the topic, there were three distinct subjects. Normally, we are used to speaking on each one of them for half a day, one day, multiple days. If you look at technology, if you look at innovation, or if you look at the third part of it, competitiveness, in TCS parlance, it's more known as business value. So we run workshops for customers only on innovation, only in technology trends, and only on the third thing, that is business value. So it was a real challenge for me to come up with something where I could speak to a group like this in a very short time and all three of them combined. Anyway, here's my attempt. Okay, let me just try it out. You can put it on display mode. Read mode. Yeah, one thing that the professor who introduced me forgot to mention as a part of my biodata. Much as I can talk about technology, much I can talk about leading trends, I still look to young people at home, my children, for help with technology matters. So this is the way it is. All right. Let me start with giving you a little bit about today's context. Why is it, when I started working with the C2 Labs, that was way back about 6 years ago, when I ran my first search on Google for the word innovation, I got about maybe something followed by 7 zeros, a double-digit number followed by 7 digits. But today, if you do the same thing, I'm pretty sure that you'll get young number of times, maybe 100 or maybe multiple times of that. That's the kind of interest that we have in innovation today. And why is it happening? I thought it would be interesting to look at a few of the trends that are causing people to look at. Yeah. And that's where you'll see the context happening. Next. Yeah. Some of the trends that we see is there are four broad categories in which I can categorize what's happening in the world today. One is that there is an extreme degree of personalization. You would have heard various things, like we're talking about how GPS has enabled us to find a route. That's one part of that. Anything that you look at today has got a very, very high degree of personalization. Whether it comes to banking, whether it comes to finance, whether it comes to retail, the consumer has now taken charge of what is happening in the world. Earlier it used to be that, particularly for technology, it used to be the enterprise would drive changes in technology. But over the last few years, Apple is a very good example. You would have faced that, you would have experienced that. It is the consumerization, it is the consumer technologies which are actually dictating a lot of what things are doing. Changing demographics, I think you know that. There are parts of the world where the percentage of people who have crossed the working age is far higher than what is normal. Other parts, like in India, where we have a lot of youngsters and they are bubbling with energy. That's the second thing. The third thing is the scarcity of resources. I think Dr. Venkatesh has referred to that. The trend is to try to do more with less. That is what is happening. Fourth is globalization. The world is shrunk. The world has become flat, whatever you want to call it. One very interesting thing that I'd like to bring to your attention is the fact that because of the trends that we see, the digital consumer has become very, very active. And one of the things that the digital consumer is forcing us to do is to forget about traditional boundary lines between different industries. When you talk about a connected car, which is the company that comes foremost to your mind? Sorry? Did somebody say Google? Yes, that's right. It's not an automotive company, it's Google, right? If you think about the hotel industry, anybody here has heard about Airbnb? You have, right? Airbnb is the largest aggregator of hotel rooms in the world, and they don't own a single hotel room. What do you call them? You take Uber, you take Ola, which many of us experience on a day-to-day basis. They don't own the taxis that they drive, but they are a taxi company for our purposes. So that's the kind of blurring of industry norms that is happening, industry boundary lines. Reminds me of an article which I studied when I did my MBA long time back. This is an article called "The Marketing Myopia" by a person called Theodore Levitt. Anybody has read that? You have. Very nice, very nice. The fundamental question that Levitt posed was to the transportation industry at that time. This was actually an article written in the 1960s when the road transportation industry in the United States actually went through a lot of transformation. He told the road transportation people, can you guys define your business? And they said, we are in the people transportation business. We are in the railroad business. He said, no, that's not true. You're in the people transportation business. The competition accordingly can come from a lot of other things like the personalized motor car, the taxis, and the metros, the railways. That's what he was talking about. So he said you need to broaden the definition of the industry that you're working in. And true to what he had predicted, there were a lot of railroad companies that actually went out of operations in a very short while after that. So today, I see when I meet customers, a lot of them are asking these questions. What kind of business are we in? What kind of business would you like us to be in? There are some examples that I have here. Room rentals, I already spoke to you about. TV on demand. Netflix has changed the way the media world works. That's one of the most transformed businesses in today's world. E-publishing, you're all familiar with that. A driverless car, I mentioned to you. A health monitor. The wearables is going to change the way the health industry is going to operate. And who knows who's going to be the leader in that. Yeah, these are some of the examples that I put together. How many of you use Ola, Uber regularly? Good number of hands. Very nice, very nice. So you will understand what I'm saying. How do you make a payment? Many of you, right? Digital money, right?